Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Hanim M. Andamun. You can call me Hani for short. And so, as you can see, we've been tasked to do our performance task, to which experimenting of rocks or about rocks and weathering. So, I'm here to assist or discuss the experiments my groups had performed. So, let's start from rock weathering. So here are the materials: small rocks, water, an empty jar, a cloth and a rubber band, and an empty bowl. Let me introduce and say hi to my companion, Mrs. Faida Makaindig. So first, pour water inside half of a jar. And then put the rock samples inside the half-filled water jar. And close it tightly. Shake the jar for possibly maybe 2 minutes. Now, can you see those tiny particles? So put the cloth to its mouth and tie it with a rubber band. And then turn the jar upside down at the bowl to strain the water out by shaking. Now remove the cloth to see its result. And there is a tiny pieces of the rocks which were broke by just shaking the water. So the question is, what are those tiny particles called and how did they form? Well, these tiny particles coming from the rock are called sediments. And there are 3 types of rocks, namely called: number 1, igneous rock. Exists when a rock cools after coming from magma or lava. The second one is sedimentary. Occurs when sediments compacts and cements. And the last one is metamorphic. Born by the cause of heat and pressure from both igneous and sedimentary. There are 2 types of weathering. The first one is physical weathering. It's the process of breaking any sizes of rocks into tiny particles when are known by the cause from frost, wedging, abrasion, and thermal stress, which means igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic have the same effect forms of becoming sediments when weathering or physical weathering occurs. And so let's welcome the second experiment.
Hi guys, my name is Muhammad Faid Manalondong. So I'm here to show you our experiment about the lesson 4, which is weathering. So have you ever seen a rusty building or a statue that looks like a rotting? That is inducing a chemical weathering in action. So in this experiment, we will learn how size affects in chemical weathering. So the materials we need is a vinegar, 2 glasses, a chalk, which is a whole and a crushed chalk, and also a spoon. And now let's get started. as you can see, and as I observed, the crushed chalk is almost dissolving because it has a small particles that can be easily to dissolve, and the other one is it is still in a solid shape, and it takes a lot of time to dissolve this.
So let me discuss this for you. The crushed up chalk 1 acts to the vinegar quicker than the other chalk which is still solid. Well, why? It's because the crushed up one has given vinegar more surface area for it to dissolve quickly. So let's discuss the second type of weather, which is called chemical weathering. It occurs when the rock changes its color and shape. It creates to a new substance of rock because some elements in the rock reacts to carbon dioxide, oxygen, and acid, where it breaks and changes to its new form. And so that's all, and thank you